Welcome, Poggers, to another episode of the PogState. And yes, indeed, we're here in this really cool new location. I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Chronicler as usual, Wolf as usual, and we have a new face on the PogState because we don't like Brendan Valdez very much. It's not. No, sorry. It's because we need to introduce Dagon. Dagon, welcome. How do you like it? We've got like a new little area here, but so far everything's been new. How's life in Korea?
Life in Korea has been great. You guys have been trolling me since I got here, including what time I need to show up, if there's rehearsal or not rehearsal, if I'm in trouble or not.
There's sheets. It says it on the sheet.
Where are the sheets?
In the chat that you're in.
Yeah.
That people keep tagging you in.
Yeah, Jisun gave you the at Dagon
Actually,
troll. With
those-
this is exactly where it is.
Because those sheets
Sorry, boss.
didn't used to be there. Kion actually has been making those so that we have like in one convenient location who's when and
Chronicler
where.
is so happy he's not the one that's going to get bullied in this episode.
If you call it out
super hard. He's like, we got a newbie here.
if you call it out in minute one, we both know it's going to shift very quickly.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of time, Wolf.
And we also know that it's going to shift back in about a week because, like, we still bully Mao. And Orcs got here after he did.
Oh yeah, that didn't
know,
change the dynamic at all.
We're going to give him the time. But other than, being relentlessly hazed and bullied and upset, how's it been?
It's been great. I mean, you guys are great. The team here is great. Everyone's so passionate.
We made sure he said that.
I was like,
You guys-
where's the guns? Like,
Yeah, you guys can't see the off-camera stuff that's happening.
It's actually that's where Brendan Valdez is. He's right over there.
I think really getting used to the fact that Lol Park is packed with fans for all 10 teams 5 days a week is it's just I know it exists, but to see it like every week is just it's so cool.
there's
It's
more
cool.
bro leavers than Immortals fans is what you're saying.
There are a lot of Mortal fans. We love Immortals, but yeah, the bro levers come out in force every time. The fan meets afterwards when they win. Where we record for the English broadcast, there's like stained glass that opens up when we're on live, and there are fans that come up and say hi and stuff. And it's like this cool interaction that happens. It's just the whole process. Everything is to live it is just. Feels surreal and cool and everything that I'd hope for. So it's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah. He was even expecting the hazing because it doesn't sound like he's too surprised by the whole, that part of it. Everything's it's just pretty good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Other than the LOL Park, though,
Yep.
how's just life in general? Have you had, dietary issues and stuff like that? I know there's some people that have had trouble getting the food that they normally eat here in Korea and stuff like that, depending on where you're living, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think spent the last 7 years in LA. I've had access to pretty good Korean food in K-Town. And so I live above a Lotte Mart, which is like the grocery store, and they cook food in the back. So I just go to the back, get the grocery food, and then go back home, and it makes it really easy. I've gone out a couple times, and I've been here before. So, not too much of a change there. The culture, it's brilliant. So, and I'm learning. So it's really fun. It's really fun, and I'm hoping to make more memories with everyone. So,
And you are learning. I got something I have to admit.
Okay.
And that is because in the changing room, after we finished a day, Caster Jun was like, the new guy. I saw his textbook. He's studying Korean? Max, did you give up? I was like, yes. yes, I did. He's like, are you going to start again? I'm like, maybe. Maybe.
You don't want to let down Caster Jun.
And the last thing that he said to me was, I really hope that new guy isn't like you.
don't like Caster Jun, I'm not.
And I
But-
only laughed to keep from crying hysterically.
I'm sorry. I'm going to continue studying because I'm an extrovert and I need to be able to communicate with people. I'm half Filipino, half Latino, Honduran, which is in Central America. People don't know where that is. And,
I didn't thank you for the
so I learned Spanish kind of in high school growing up. My mom tried to teach me at home and I didn't learn a ton. But I got to about like year 4. And then I spent time playing soccer in the Philippines, so I had to learn Tagalog to get around, to travel when my teammates were yelling stuff at me. So I had to learn a little bit of Tagalog, but I've always stopped. And so to not have a familial connection to the language, but a desire to communicate and converse with people, I need to do it. So I promise I'll keep doing it, but I won't do it in the public area to
Just get a
you
newspaper.
ashamed.
No.
Cover the
I
book with
actually
it.
think you should. Maybe I'll bring a book as well. Maybe that will help. Like, because I think shame is my greatest motivator.
Actually, when Max and I were studying, I'm sure that's 90%. Because when I arrived first in Korea, we went to university because we didn't have the space yet, so we had a lot less days.
And also, it was COVID as well, so
it was remote.
We were doing remote broadcasts and remote school, which was possible.
yeah. Well, I mean, even then,
Ish.
it wasn't really possible, but
Theoretically possible.
I
The
think-
day was long enough.
I have to say, I think that both of us only kept up because we kept each other in it, and
Yeah.
like neither of us could give up. And then we passed level
we
1.
managed to pass
And then
level
they
1.
gave up, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then we
then
gave up.
promptly, definitely, we're not going to do level 2 because that was
No,
impossible.
that was already really tough.
But
and
we don't
then-
need to do it that way. We don't need to
Right.
do the go to university. We can sit in the cafeteria and we can practice with one another, and maybe that will help.
Well, maybe.
I do know, like, a little bit more than 0.
I did the not really study formally at all and just use the internet and then try and fail a lot, and then I learned it, and now I speak Korean. It took a while. It took a few years to get comfortable, but I just kind of skipped the whole textbook university like thing. There was no
Yeah.
such thing as like Duolingo back then.
Well, everyone that I've talked to on the team that, all of you have helped me with a word or grammar and whatnot. So
I don't think I have. I appreciate the shout
I
out.
feel like
I'm pretty
you,
sure.
there was one, like, I know there was one example when we were
Thank
sitting
you,
by
Diego.
ourselves. I know that
very
that you
nice.
did.
Was it Busse?
No.
I know he knows that one.
All right.
Yeah.
That one's easy.
That's
There we go.
Bus, by the way.
Back to the natural order.
Thanks,
It
man.
only took us 5 minutes to get there.
Oh, crap. You really did not get a lot of time.
Yeah,
did you?
and it wasn't me. I was giving a compliment, and Max took that. It was Max's fault.
I mean, it's not a
Well,
good look.
I
on me.
took it. Yeah, don't
Roasting-
worry.
roasting people.
He's just not really a true PogStater, is he? He's trying to be nice to Mao.
I know,
We gotta get him
it's
out of
so
here
weird.
next week.
I miss Valdez already.
Valdez is also Valdez. You never see him coming. He always hits
Yeah.
me when I don't. Because with Max, I know what to expect. With
I'm,
Wolf,
I'm,
I know what to
the,
expect.
I'm the boxer that does this one before
the
I
wind
punch,
up.
you know?
And Valdez just appears out of nowhere. He's like, and you're like, oh,
Kidney punch.
Yeah. He's the rogue. He's the thief. All right. There is some League of Legends happening here in Korea as well. And we have had a little bit of a change moving into the summer season. And I think it's probably time to do a little bit of the talking about what's going on down there.
What just happened?
We had a
Did you get
cable,
whipped
we had
by a cable, I think?
Cable incident, but it's
Okay,
fine.
it's fine. I
It's
don't know
fixed.
what happened.
Okay.
Cable issue. It's done.
All right. Well, now that we've dealt with the cable issue of 2024, we are now going to move towards having a little bit of a discussion about the League of Legends. Are we, Wolf? Are we going to be able to get there?
You sound like a teacher.
really
Are
bothering
you
me,
ready?
man.
You want to share that with the class?
Wolf looked like he did want to share
I
something.
feel like Mao was BSing me, man. There was something I put, and they said it was a cable issue or something.
The Revenge of the Mao.
I couldn't see it because this couch is so long for some reason.
Yes,
I can't
wait,
even
this
see
couch
the
is
mouse.
so.
I would never do that.
Oh my god.
The length of the couch was bothering Wolf quite a lot, actually. This-
I'm okay. I can hold it together. I got it.
All right,
It's
got
the
it.
beginning of the episode, man.
All right, if you're okay, then I reckon you should start. Tell us a bit about Tristana.
Yeah, okay, so I knew this is where we were going with this. Yeah, so the meta talk. So Tristana seems to be beating Corki a lot, right? But a lot of people are still opting into Tristana. So Tristana gets lane prio, has all ins, so she has kill pressure in lane solo. If she has a jungler to set her up, she could basically always kill someone or force a flash because her damage output is so high. She team fights well as a second AD carry, as a consistent source of damage. She kills turrets quickly, so if you're losing the game as Tristana, you could probably get back into it because if you just get a few seconds with a turret, like boom, there's a bunch of gold for you. She has peel for your AD carry as well. With
Got
her
the
ult.
buffer?
She has the buffer for escaping any possible engage or setup or stuns that are trying to come in to take you out. Like, oh, Sejuani thought she could get a cute little Yordle. Nope. Definitely going to get out of that one for free. This is my like blast cone level rage I have right now for this pick because it's just, it seems unpunishable. It seems unfair. It seems It scales well. Like, what is the weakness of Tristana? All right, that's my meta talk.
Height.
Yeah. I'm
She's
thinking
pretty
where
short.
we'd rate this, and because there's been a lot of talk about Kendrick and levels of hating. I feel like
jeez.
Feldus and Stopwatch is still peak.
Yeah, and
But this-
plants. He doesn't like plants.
I can see it gets you, Wolf. I had my moment with Fellow the Aatrox last split, but that's gone now, fortunately. I think in a positive sense, I think the current jungle meta is super cool. And the fact that we finally get a carry meta after a really long time, since like 2020, basically. Because we did, obviously, like 2021, we had, some like off carry, like Viego was mega broken. There was
Viego Wukong meta was there for a bit.
We had Morgana and Rumble, but I feel like those still didn't really compare to what we're seeing now. So I think that part is really, really cool. And even if you count 2021, that's still, like a two and a half year period. So I love that part. I think that the problem, as Wolf already highlighted, is that the AD mids are also mega overtuned. Right, the fact that Lucian didn't even look good, but the fact that Lucian mid is being played says a lot about both how strong the meta junglers are, or the AP junglers are, and then also what the current state of AD itemization is when we have like 5 AD carries, and that's including like Kalista and Ashe and Senna bans. And then I also think that Genji is a team of mind controllers that make everyone believe Corki and Nidalee are good. When I can assure you, if you're not Chovy and Canyon, don't play Corki Nidalee. It's because when you think about it, it works only because Chovy wins every lane on Corki. But like, you have no setup, you have no CC, how win?
You Valkyrie away and lose lane.
How can win?
Yeah.
And it's also,
But it works because it's Genji.
and it's really funny to me. Like the whole Nidalee conversation is so interesting because people insist on playing it without the setup, but then they refuse to play it the way that a setupless Nidalee should be played.
Well, no one can.
Right, but like they don't even attempt to.
No.
They try to gank impossible to gank lanes.
Yep.
Fail to do so.
Yo,
and then
Corki,
it's-
set me up. Oh.
Oh no, it's
That's
Tristana.
cool Foster's bomb though,
Foster's
but they're
bomb reveal.
gone.
Maybe if he goes in the brush, like I could see him.
And I can miss it and know that I missed.
Yeah, we've seen so many Nidalees fail, not only here in the LCK, but one of my favorite players, Contracts, pulled that one out, and he's known to play Nidalee.
I love Contracts, man. Hung out
Didn't
with
work
him.
over in the LCS. He's a great dude, Juanito. But it is kind of baffling that it happens over and over again, and it feels like, yes, it's the players that are doing it, but also the coaches that are drafting this way, and kind of, again, ramming their head into the same thing. It's like, oh, we got the priority pick, and it's winning in scrims, probably, but
Always is.
no one else, it's just not being built around. It's one that you have to build around.
I actually think that like it can't be winning in scrims.
Has to.
It looks so bad. Like
Has
it
to.
can't be winning in. It can't be doing that.
The priority is so high across the world, it has to.
Maybe the teams all have this like weird like thing where they're intentionally losing to stuff in scrims to put people off or something like that. Like it's just a misinformation
I-
battle and they're all getting each other at the same time.
I think Nidalee is out of all the AP junglers just by far the most oppressive when she does get a lead. So you have like a scrim block where you because you play much more loose, right? You take a couple of bad flips and then you
Yeah.
have a 2-3-0 Nidalee and then you don't get to play the game.
Yeah.
And then that's that. I think that image still haunts people. But I think it's getting.
Is that why
slowly-
Master Yi's banned all the time?
Exactly. I think it's slowly getting better because we are starting to see the prio drop for our weaker teams, which that's good at least. Maybe our PowerPoints have helped.
Yeah, and we saw Brand earlier this week where that did the most damage. It was the boom boom damage. I forgot who played it, but
It was Sylvie, and he was a monster.
right. It was crazy. It was so fun to watch, and that was one of the reasons why Nongshim got themselves the first win this week. So there are other options that are known. Again, another one from the LCS that I saw today. I think it was Morgana got played by Spica, and so you have these different AP junglers that you can go to that aren't the Nidalee that are still there. Like you can go to them.
Karthus.
Yeah, we saw the Karthus, we saw
Zyra.
Taliyah, like there's Fiddlesticks that Peanut just played in the last game, which, you know, if people continuously walk into Crow Storms, it is incredibly
they can also
good.
dash into Crow Storms.
That is true. And they can ignore
Slide into
terrain
Crow
into Crow
Storms.
Storms. Oh,
And Ash arrows
it's,
and,
man. Really wish I was reading Nautilus lore instead of casting that.
Yeah, I love the Lore
that
Master
series.
bit's my favorite bit of summer so far. It's been great. The only thing that I think is truly dreadful, because I do really agree with you, Wolf, that Tristana is way overtuned, and that unless you're Genji, in which case it doesn't matter what you play, you should probably ban it. The top lane meta is not. There's no top lane meta. It's one matchup.
You mean
we're back at it again?
Rumble versus Skarner,
No,
or Skarner versus
we're banning
Cassante?
Rumble.
It's
He's
Riot
not-
versus Riot, baby.
Yep.
Give me Skarner versus Cassante. Boom.
But I need a big tanky top laner for all my 80 carries on the rest of the map.
I actually think what I think it was Orc said it today is just true. It's like those are the only two champions that can deal with each other's
Yeah, brokenness.
shit. Like that's the reality of the situation. Because no one else matches. Like especially after all the TF nerfs. Because I think TF actually, in hindsight, kind of kept them in check.
Yeah, used to be able to do something. And we've seen it get banned just a little bit. I think Nara coming back is something that, if you're really good at it, you can make it work. I think Kingen tried it out and looked okay. I think, Zeus is an absolute god on Nara, as we know, so that's a little bit different. But like there are fringe things that can kind of work into it. Renekton didn't really work into it. Though maybe it wasn't Renekton's fault.
The Skarner
looking
rock,
back.
the Q is like just so stupid. Like it gives you consistent damage. Like so most tanks,
I think if you took Skarner's passive away entirely, he'd still be broken.
he'd be very strong.
And a champion should not have like a power budget like that. Like that's not a lot. But what?
He has he has the ability to just press Q, and then like his autos are going to be better than like any normal like tank top laner would be. But then also if you can't auto, you can just throw it at him.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, I guess it'll go on cooldown though for like 3 seconds, and then you could do it again for like no mana. And like it's cool. Like eventually, if you did it like 17 times, you run out of mana, right? But with tier, I guess that's not really an issue, is it? It seems to be kind of an issue. They can chase people down, slow them, do a ton of damage to them, then pull them. And for some reason in our LCK, people forgot that that he has Flash and Pale as a combo to then set up a
Over and
jungler.
over again, man.
But it just keeps happening.
To be fair to top laners, I feel like the hitboxes are so dumb that like realistically at some point you're gonna be like, I just think to me the fact he can grab people behind him,
The
and that
flash donut into the wall
Yes.
is
It's
so
God.
like
dumb.
they need to narrow, because I feel like if you narrow the range on E, because I feel like initially
Just make E like work like Scion ult, exactly the same amount of jank.
No, I think I think you can give it a, but like
No.
maybe don't.
No, that's what it needs.
No,
It needs to be
I
Scion
think you
ult.
just give it a. You need to have like a one or a half a second wind up so people can flash out of it, so that you don't. Like I feel like that would solve a lot of the issues with it, because I think that if you manage to like grab someone through a wall and you actually give them time to react, it doesn't feel nearly as bullshit as what we see in lane, where you're just like even thinking about walking to the wave and then you can flash E into ult into.
Or what if it had a worse
Guy.
cooldown if you don't hit a champion with it?
Yeah,
because it's also like
sure,
insane
works as
mobility
well.
around the map. We're seeing so many good Skarners now roam to mid lane to make plays, because you could just roam. If it doesn't work out, you just E right back to the top lane. I'll see you there.
Yeah,
I've
but
got
that
an
doesn't-
idea. I want to do a complete overhaul. Hear me out.
Okay.
Changes E to a projectile, where if it hits someone, you can then proc it for a stun. Changes W to a shield and an
We
attack
get
speed
it,
boost
we get
passive,
it.
and then changes Q to just like does a bit of damage around you, just to help him with his clear,
But
and
could
just
you
keep
put-
the ultimate the same. And like I think that's a great champion.
Well, I think maybe the ultimate only hits one target though.
no.
And
I think the
you
ultimate's
could put
cool.
these
The ultimate-
pylons on the map, these things that you activate, and then he actually gets bonuses around them. But you
and
have
then
to,
make
like,
him miss his
capture
kind
them.
again.
And then
Because I don't miss him anymore. I don't miss him at
Yeah.
all.
and then we have Captain Flowers do the VO, and then we slap a ribbon on it, call it a day.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, top lane's dire. Bot lane's fun.
Yeah, bot lane's actually
engage
one of the
supports are
best
fun.
spots that
There's
it's
actually
been.
a decent. They have Kalista Nico is still a thing. I feel like bot lane's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we had in today's matchup, it was KT Hanwha Life. It was 5 unique champions each player, so 10 different support champions on the bottom side of the map, which was super cool. And then, as we've already talked about, like we can go through so many bans at AD carry, and it's still viable as you go further down. Obviously, everyone has high priority on the Kalista, which is generally the one that gets banned here in the LCK. But Yeah, I love it as an AD carry player and enjoyer of the bot lane. It's fun.
I think, does that indicate that itemization is too strong
Yeah,
for the...
100%.
Because, like, if you can just play everything and it's fine, that means kind of that, like, the stuff Boris is giving you is just bringing you up to the level of everyone else.
Yeah, because we're playing basically at least 4 AD carries every single game, and that's including like 4 AD carry bans every single
I do
round.
kind of like that idea, though, putting power budget more into the items rather than into the champions, and so therefore the champions like balance is less relevant if those numbers are less relevant. Just meaning that power spikes are more
Yeah, as long as
important.
you don't like AP mid laners, it's totally fine.
Yeah, that's kind of screwed. So I guess you just have to figure that one out.
You know, like Victor was kind of. Remember
No.
when we played Victor?
No.
That was cool.
Syndra?
Hey, by the way, his Q now hits turrets.
Yeah, big
Okay.
buff on this patch.
Yeah, it's huge. Some QOL.
I want the AD carries to get trumped up by an assassin meta. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It was Worlds 2022.
I do miss Fizz.
You're talking real. Yeah, that's been a very long time.
He was a top
But,
laner,
like,
wasn't he? More recently than that.
The heaven of Fizz, Kiana.
Remember when
Zed.
Kiana was a fringe meta pick and like Talon got played for
And
like
it was
1
a
week?
flex. You could flex
no,
Kiana like
Talon-
mid jungle.
Talon
Oh,
Jungle
man.
was good for like a season, no?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
remember
no
it
one
actually
played
got played for a while. No, not mid.
No, like Talon Jungle got played like 3 times, and we were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that was cool," and then it was gone.
I think it was around.
There
for
was a
bit
little bit. There was a lot
longer.
more Kane. I mean, that's not really assassin,
Yeah.
but Kane was meta for a lot longer. I feel.
Yeah, there are a few of those that we just didn't really see our junglers really pivot to.
I remember Owner playing a bunch of Talon games. He just did a lot of flippity flopping.
There was some flippity.
Wasn't the end of that era, the assassin era, that there was just a lot of healing and regeneration? So then it was like team fights were super long and people were barely living, which was fun. But then teams just shifted to tanks because then you're just like, oh, we'll just have tanky boys that can heal and live for a long
I
time.
mean, also tanks are just the natural answer to an assassin. If an assassin uses their buttons and the thing doesn't die, then the thing just kind of like hits them with a wet noodle for an hour and they die. Like,
yeah.
it's
It'd be like minute long play-by-play casts where
This is
no
the-
one dies.
it's the classic problem. If you get to an assassin meta, the tank meta is
Well,
imminent.
also the current tanks do damage. I think tanks in general in League in recent eras have always need to do damage as well for them
Yeah.
to be relevant.
I think that's why like Sion is not in this meta, even though he's a tank, because he just doesn't really do damage. He has
Yeah.
like a really long wind up Q and a ult that isn't really guaranteed to hit, and so like he can't be relevant. Why would you ever pick Sion when you could pick Asante or Skarner?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Ornn, maybe he could have a place, but he's just going to get pushed out. And, like, it's not guaranteed his setup either. Whereas a Impale is like, if you come at me, I will impale you. Like, it's anti-dive. And I also think that part of the symptoms of having the Cassante and Skarner no matter what, instead of picking something like a Cannon, which we've seen a little bit, or the Twisted Fate, is the damage output for those 80 carries is so high. Like Corki and Tristana specifically is so high that if you're Cannon, you're like, I'm going in, I'm gonna press the R button, and it's like 2-shot though. Actually,
Yeah.
never mind.
he does the lightning rush thing, like, blah, and he's dead.
Or he just gets Buster shotted away or Corkery
Yeah.
goes away.
Yeah.
It's sad.
What is a champion that you wish the meta could come, or like could come back in the meta?
Cho'Gath. You know, the original answer to tanks
Up you go.
is a 1k true damage execute. But I mean, I'm joking because Cho'Gath is a champion from 2000. And what was it,
Yeah,
like
but
12?
He still
That's
has
what
a
I mean.
silence, dude.
I know.
Isn't it amazing?
That's how you know. Yeah.
I kind of miss Gragas. I miss a little Ornn. Like, those are the picks that I thought were fun. Like, Gragas was the safe, boring top lane pick where you
Yeah.
could weak side, but then you could also go AP and do damage if you wanted to. But it was always interesting to see Gragas because of high skill expression and really fun times on the top side. Like, that was like the blind pick. We were pretty bored of it back then, but I kind of want it back. Like, when I see, like, oh, Skarner's up, so let me first pick Skarner again. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I yearn for Rumble. I'm like, oh, please don't ban it. Like, it'll be slightly interesting.
It's funny how our brains are going to the top side of the map because mine is Fiora. I loved seeing teams play a split push composition where it's
yeah.
like, you know, you're balancing the map and it just feels like a teetering seesaw. It does feel like as soon as it fails, then it all falls apart and maybe you try to get a team fight Fiora. It's not so great, but
Yeah, split push is never coming back as long as Dragon Souls are real.
Yeah.
It's just not. You play Camille. You know, Camille's fun. Camille is Fiora, but she can team fight.
no.
I still miss Echo Yasuo. That's what it's
Okay,
still
no
my
one. Tank top Echo.
No.
Oh.
I'm talking mid lane.
Oh,
Dade
okay.
versus Pawn in the
That
LPL
is fine.
2015. Probably the greatest 1v1 ever. and they just did it for an entire laning phase. It was just exquisite. And it wasn't, it was, I think it was EDG versus Masters 3. It's not even like teams, like EDG was good at the time, Masters 3 were not. And like this matchup was just, I'm pretty sure I'm getting the matchup right, but it doesn't matter. It's those two champions were just so fun to watch, like try to outplay each other. And Echo in general, like AP Echo, not Tank Echo, screw that champion, it's not even real. Like AP Echo, like watching sick Echo plays is like so good. And it's also, this is why there's hope for Echo, right? It's because Arcane Season 2 is coming out.
Arcane buffs, baby!
Hell yeah. We've already
Jace?
got the quality of...
Yeah.
You know, Jace coming back, 100%.
Caitlyn? We love that champion.
Caitlyn?
Vi?
Five
Oh,
buff?
shit.
Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx definitely... based on what I saw...
Warwick? I love that guy.
If a jungler is playing Jinx, she's really...
If Warwick is ever meta in pro, things are really dire.
By the way, did you see, like, so we came back
You
from
said
a
the same about
replay...
Skarner a year ago.
Isn't it dirable?
It's true. It's not
is
wrong. It's not wrong.
Foreshadowing. But did you see today, we came back from a replay and BDD was just dead under a turret as Earth Corky. And I was reminded of Warwick because it looked like Warwick had sort of clipped into the ground using his like Earth skin, the one where he's just wearing Earth, which is a lot more sinister than riding him around like Corky does. And I was like, wow. Be cool if that champion like was something relevant. That could be fun. Maybe that's going to be a thing.
I've played against Ignite.
I know
Barrier,
the top lane one,
flash
the one
barrier
that like
Warwick.
just hangs out top lane for a second, goes and takes all your junglers' camps, comes back, kills you, goes back to the jungle, kills all his camps.
This should be shooting
What's almost killing me is that one health, guys. He's at one. Oh, he's at full health, guys. He's literally 100% health.
I swear there was like there must have
Knows what
been
I'm talking about.
there must have been a content creator or something in Korea that's like, this is freelo, you just do these things, because like every game that you would play, it would just be that Warwick experience.
There was I think it was a Warwick and Poppy top 2 trick that got like crazy high LP. So then people kind of caught on from that.
That
When
might
I
do it.
autofill jungle, I only have one rule. I only have one creed. Only one thing I do every game, no matter what champion I'm playing, is ban Warwick every time. I'm
used to
helping my
be-
whole team out. He is not getting played.
Do you remember when it used to be like you banned Warwick and then there couldn't be a jungler? That was my favorite part, when no one knew how to jungle and it was 2010 and Warwick was the only champion that could actually do it if you didn't have like giga brain strategies on exact and like the perfect
didn't have all your
rune
runes
page,
unlocked,
the
yeah.
perfect
Oh my
rune
God,
page to be able to jungle. And like, so if you banned the Warwick, you'd have like, it'd just be double duo lanes and you're like, I've got so many jungles, man, this is the best. I yearn for those times because now it's
Now we're doing Nautilus lore.
yeah.
I have a trick for you,
The
by the
current
way.
jungle is really fun.
What?
The current jungle is great.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's
current
good.
jungle's actually fun.
A trick for you
It's
guys,
just
if
mixed
you're ever in a
Warwick.
Korean solo queue game and you like you autofilled or you want to dodge but you don't want to get the dodge timer, just ban Yasuo. 100% somebody dodges. 100% every time without fail. Just if you want a free dodge, just ban Yasuo. Easy, 100% dodge.
Yeah.
You don't have to use your dodge. You don't have
And,
to wait
and
5
if you
minutes.
don't speak any Korean, then you won't be able to read all the expletives that they're saying to you before they dodge. as
Sounds like
well.
a perfect experience for me. Yasuo's my ban.
All right. There has been something that I've been avoiding
It's time.
this entire time. And look, we can talk about the meta all we want. We can complain about Tristana. We can complain about Corki versus Azir, which still seems to be a thing no matter what we do. But what I think that we have to complain about now is the state of the LCK and the teams and our ability to predict what the LCK is going to look like.
Max's ability
Atlas,
to predict.
I just want to remind everyone, you weren't lost. You were fine.
Now he's trying to pick on me, man.
But he's
He should have been last,
he's
dude.
bringing
Nobody
it in
accept
with
the rules.
such
Well,
such a serious.
The thing that happened,
Tone.
like the thing that we do
'Cause he
most
knows
of
in
the
his heart
time.
you should have been last.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that is very true. And I still feel lost, regardless of the result, you know, because I put KT in first. And that was like, I was thinking that I would be Gigabrain. It reminded me of,
visionary.
you remember that time where I managed to get the Hanwha predictions right randomly out of nowhere? I was like hearkening back to it. I'm like, this can be me again. I can be that again. That was me in spring. And then that feeling, that euphoric feeling of feeling like maybe I know something, it happened to me again last week. And it was very immediately slapped right in my face. But the thing is, we've now got a different format. We have a different way of doing this for the PogState. And I think that this one is going to hurt way more. I mean, I think this one's way cooler. Because what we do is we filmed a video of our predictions before this week's games. And so now we've seen a week. We have a bit of added information, double the information, in fact, now. And now we get to show those videos and we can discuss them.
I think we should start with Valdez.
We should start with
We should. He's
Valdez.
not here to defend himself, so it's more funny. Yeah. Let's. We can rip the Band-Aid off with that.
Let's do it.
That's the best way to do it, I guess. So, take it away, Valdez. Let us know who you think's going to win.
What's up, Poggers? We're here. We got to do our list for week 1 predictions, and I got it right here.
is like I gotta do
on
my
nice
homework.
little pad. Little spoiler there. Let's go ahead and start off with Gen G. They are the best team right now. It is very obvious. I think they're just
Controversial.
going to win it all. Here for summer, once again, we do have T1 after them.
Oh,
I did end up putting up T1 ahead of
Pretty
DK or
biased
Home
for
Life
T1, I
Esports
think.
just because I think it's kind of inevitable that they do get second once again. And then I actually put DK for third. I think that they're looking really good. I think that Aiming's focus is coming in. Lucid's getting better and better. Home Life Esports not looking as impressive as Spring, let's say, so far. It is still week 1, but after them I did have Home Life Esports.
after Viper
And then I
picked
had
Vayne, so-
Quantum Freaks ahead of KT. I think they're looking really strong right now. And I think the developments they have in the 80 carry role are really good with Leaper as well. After that, I did put KT. They snuck into playoffs. Sorry, Max, that I did not put them higher, but they will make it at least. And then after them, I did have BNK, and then DRX, and then Noshim, and then finally, Bro.
Cut the video.
Oh man, he's a front runner in comparison to my predictions.
Do we have to write these down? We need to write these down, right?
I think it's okay.
The thing that really burns is that he put Nongshim ahead of Bro, and I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
I think we should watch all of them and then
yeah, we should like watch them all, then discuss once we have all the
Atlas look
information.
like Luke Skywalker.
Because it's my defensive look. This is the hair down that I went for. Are we doing me next?
Yeah.
Wait. I need to introduce myself because I was trying to be funny.
All right.
I think.
it's a long video.
Oh
All right.
A lot to say.
All right, Atlas, take it away, brother.
Thank you very much, Atlas. This is past Atlas. I know you, future Atlas, you're going to be extraordinarily proud of me. I am without my hair done, and that means that my brain is unhindered.
Dang, he tackled
and therefore
everything
can have
that we
the
already
best
talked
predictions
about.
Ever. Let's get straight into it. First off, we're going to have Gen G. They're doing the Golden Road and stuff like that. Like, they already look really, really good. It's absolutely fine. This is where things get a little bit crazy. Next up, D plus Kia.
Oh, no.
I said it. I believe in this team. I reckon they're going to do extraordinarily well. And even though I mock Chronicler incessantly about his love for Lucid, the guy is extraordinarily good. And I reckon he's only going to get better. Third, I'm Life Esports. They were really good at being third in spring. Probably going to be third this time around as well. That brings us to the most contentious point, T1.
Yeah.
Week 1,
that hurts,
week
doesn't
1 overreactions, right? So, yeah, I'm overreacting. So they're looking that hot right now.
True.
I think that they're going to be a playoff team, but it's just not going to be the best. Let's go to 5th. This time, I realized exactly where you should put a coin flip team, and that is 5th. I was an
Yikes.
idiot. In spring, this time, not going to be an idiot.
Still an idiot.
AK,
Still an idiot,
place.
though, yeah.
Still an idiot.
Pondo Freaks will then round out the playoff teams. They look phenomenal in week 1, but we all know that, yeah, the first couple of weeks, that's where they're good. And it's probably about 6th after that. Next, DRX. I believe in this team. I believe they're going to be the best of the bottom 4. They are looking all right. I reckon there's a nice future there. I think Platter is absolutely amazing. I think he's probably going to get them ahead of the bottom 3 teams.
Didn't age super
Fearless
good.
Fox is coming in next. B&K Fear X.
Still might.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't even think it's a free willy situation. I just think the team's not necessarily working out all that well. And
This eye
it's a little bit
contact is
sad.
intense.
But that's fine. Next up is going to be Bro. Look, Bro,
Ooh.
we love
Yeah,
to get
this-
your chads,
I
and
don't
I
think
would
this is gonna
prefer
work
to
out.
be absolutely wrong
Atlas,
when they
you get
come
one
third
swap.
in the LCK this season
I know.
than be right. You know, I want it to be a surprise. I
mean, it's
want
not
people to realize
impossible.
that this is unprecedented when they find all of that success, and I still really
I
hope they
watched
do.
Karis today.
Lastly, it's going to be Nongshim.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, week one wasn't kind. Last time around, they came out with a bang, and that got them to like 7th on our lists. This time, they didn't come out with a bang, and I think they deserve last. So that's going to be it. That's going to be my predictions, and I hope you really proud of me, future Atlas. Yeah.
Pasta Atlas was so happy about it.
Oh, his future Atlas is
Yeah,
really disappointed.
future Atlas. Yeah.
How we doing?
Yeah, fine. Actually, to be honest, it wasn't as bad. Like, at least my reasoning was like, okay, let's go to the next one.
Why do
All
you
right.
look so serious?
I know
yeah.
everyone.
Wait,
Everyone
were you
looks
talking
so
about
serious.
yourself as a different person? That was so confusing. I
Hey
was
everyone,
like,
it's
wait, that looks
Chronicler
like
here.
you though.
I am here to provide video evidence of my week one
There's a microphone
overreactions and
that's like
filming
pointing
this
straight downwards.
on the day of week 2 starting.
That's like the things on
And
the
I
side.
will quickly
How
go
is
through
mine
my
the
list,
longest and he's taking
in
so
PogState
long to
episode
get
we'll
to anything?
discuss everything in more
Guess it's
detail.
only been
So
the
my
KT
list,
guild.
first and foremost, Genji in first, shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. T1 second, even though I think they've looked rough,
So
I
many
trust them
T1
to get
seconders.
it together throughout
didn't
the
look
split.
like a second
DK
team.
third, it's a big adaptation of where we were last split, but I think that so far they've earned that. Hanwha Life fourth, I think even despite their inconsistencies, they're still going to be quite solid once they get their act together. Kwangdong fifth, that's the biggest risk I think I'm taking, as I do
Not
think that
feeling
they've
like a
looked a lot
risk.
better with Leaper.
No, I
KT
get
sixth, I
too
feel like
low.
this team will, even though they've looked really rough, kind of get it together and hopefully contest for a playoff spot still. Otherwise, it'd be really bad. Self-explanatory. The new members have really inspired any confidence. Free Willy, so hopefully he'll come back, even though he's not doing too well in challengers. Direk 8th, Nongshim 9th, and unfortunately for all the believers out there, I will keep Brion on 10th.
Oh man,
That's my list. Genji,
I'm gonna be
T1,
such
DK
a
Hanwha,
believer
Kwangdong, KT,
this
VRX,
season.
Yeah, you are.
DRX, Nongshim, and Brion.
I
So
was like, about to
hopefully
just
I'll
cut him off,
be
man.
not
I
wrong.
mean, I'm not giving any
We'll
additional
see how
reasoning
that ends up
because I
going.
thought we were going to do it now.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But yeah, I didn't give any reasons in mine. I thought we were just gonna give the list only. That's why mine's really short. You can
Oh,
do mine
shoot.
now. I won't waste anybody's time. Watch this. I just
right.
want to prove I did this before
No
week
way.
2.
Hello, Poggers. It's June 18th.
Another video
evidence, sir.
Good for you, Wolf.
Are my LCK Summer 2024
With the zoom.
overreactions. for
Damn,
week
you
one.
got like the production
Hope
value.
it goes a lot better than last time. I'm trying not to get Comic Sans again.
That's it. I'm
Clear
like, here's the
goals.
thing. I don't want to get Comic Sans.
What did it say?
It's
All right.
good.
Genji first, T1, Hanwha Life. I think Hanwha Life. This was Hanwha Life versus D+. That was the toughest one for me because I was
It
like,
was
ooh,
close.
Hanwha
Yeah.
looking a little shaky.
Yeah.
And then Kwangdong Freaks, I felt pretty confident about. KT, I was like, I'm probably just going to be 6th place because there's a big tier break between KT and DRX. That was definitely wrong. And then DRX seemed to be the best of the bottom 4. I think I disagree with Chronicle on that point. Like, that's a big difference in our lists. And then, yeah, Bro, sorry, I'm not Bro leaving.
Yeah, looks
after
pretty good.
after week one, like because I was saying this earlier, it's so much easier to watch Bro when you're at home on Twitch chat.
Never had to live through it.
Yeah, Chronicler prepared me. I was like, no way, man. Like I'm sure it'll be great. You know.
So basically, what you're saying is
it's
it's so much better to watch Bro if you don't have to watch Bro.
Yeah, it's so much better to watch Bro when it's
Yeah.
on your 5th monitor.
yeah. You know, you just go into the chat, you hit some Giga Chads. You know.
You go make a coffee, then you come
Yeah.
back, you're like, oh, they're down 4.
Yeah,
You
I
throw
also
some
watch-
channel points away, highlighting your
Yeah.
message.
I also
you know.
watch Bro on chat only on Twitch.
Don't have to do them like that, man.
Yeah, I wish. So otherwise, I would have had them higher. But having sat through this week 1 predictions, they too will find themselves in a pretty
Well,
precarious spot.
let's cut right to it then. I don't know why, but that was it right. Why did I say it like
Right?
that? It was
Right?
weird. Anyway, let's go to Digon.
14.
Damn, he was shorter than mine.
All these big brain analysts are complaining they don't have enough time to do these predictions, so I'm going to do it the fastest. Ready? Genji D plus T1, Hanwha, Kwangdong KT, DRX, FearX, Nongshim Bro. Easy.
Who's FearX?
Yeah, B and K.
And who's Kwangdong?
B and K is not on your list.
Yeah, B&K is in the league, Digon.
Yeah, my bad. B&K Fear-X.
All right, so
Let
like
him off
I get
easy,
shamed
guys.
from Kastajun because you're studying Korean, but you know nothing about the LCK.
It's only a second week.
Yeah, it's a
Lay
pretty
off
good
the
list
guy.
though. It was a
It's
pretty
easy
good
to
list,
forget the
and it
teams,
was
yeah.
very fast. And he did like that was the stipulation was I'm going to be fast, not good.
Accurate,
You know?
good,
Yeah.
watchable.
It's
correct.
not about quality; it's about speed.
Yeah.
And I think we can all learn from that. Okay, so his was Genji DK.
D plus, correct.
Yeah, T1 Hanwha.
T1 Hanwha, correct. Then Kwangdong
Juan Hanwha,
KT,
Kwangdong, KT.
DRX, BNK, Nongshim Bro.
Yeah, Atlas lost. It's over. GG.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even need to do the rest of this episode
All right.
because everyone else is so similar that like.
Yeah, you guys really didn't have fun with it at all.
No, not really.
Yeah, I
Just trying to like predict based on what
Yeah,
I felt.
I remember this happened last time as well. Me and Valdez were just. I did not talk to Valdez really that much. We didn't. I don't think we casted together this week. So I didn't really do any collaborating with Valdez. I didn't do it last split either. But I genuinely think that last split we had exactly the same thing. Maybe like one.
You had a couple differences,
Different
but like I
ones?
think they were at the bottom of the standings. I think and we were mainly I think when we do these, just to provide some context for everyone at home, I think we focus a lot on the top.
Yes.
Because it's important who makes it to playoffs, right? Like that's like the order of the bottom 4 doesn't actually have any realistic implications for anything. Says Atlas with Nongshim in last place, trying to protect his
Well, clearly
ego.
Atlas and Digon thought about playoffs, only didn't think about the finals because we already know it's going to be Genji T1 and Genji's going to win 3-0. Like,
Well,
we
this
already
is-
knew that before
so-
the season started. So,
But do you know how much I hate the fact that we've had the same final forever?
Yeah.
I hate it so much. I moved T1 an extra spot away.
That's crazy.
Like I really like,
But
and
I don't understand because we also all know that T1 could be 6th in the regular split, and we are still getting Genji T1.
but this is about the regular split.
No, I know that. But what I mean is what you're saying is you know want to try. So because you said you want to try and not have Genji T1
Oh
again.
right, yeah. So,
But it
okay.
doesn't matter because it's for the.
So I could get this. So what you're
So
saying
really,
is I
what
could
you
get
should
it
have
right,
done is put T1 7th.
so
we
that
don't
we
get-
don't get it. Ah, true.
You both were right.
Yeah, I guess
That was a good counter, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I tried, but in the end, I just helped clarify
I'm
what he
feeling
meant.
pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good because like the main difference, for me is Chronicler had faith in D+, which is wrong. Valdez had faith in D+, which was incorrect. Digon and Atlas had faith in D+, which is incorrect.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
it?
also
Wait,
like
how is it incorrect? I mean, we're not at the end of the season now.
yeah, but I mean. Let's be real. Like D+ was really good in week 1, and we were all like, "Oh!" And now we're like, I mean, it's
I-
they're decent, but
No, I mean I
They
don't
lost
think
to
they'll ever be top
T1.
2. Yeah, they lost to T1. I think them
Yeah.
over Hanwha, I still believe in. Even
I also
after-
think that they won against T1 and then threw it away and then
Yeah.
tilted out of control in game 2.
That did happen. That's true.
Also, they have the Uri Bank Gold King. Like, how can you go against that?
I'm just saying. Also, I have.
And he's so dedicated to that, he farms even when he has 6 items,
to-
Zephyr
yeah.
included.
Okay,
Right now,
and-
I'm feeling pretty good about DRX over BNK. I'm feeling pretty good about that at the
Is
moment.
that, is that
Oh, I'm
after
not, though. They just lost to
they lost to
Nongshim.
Nongshim?
Yeah, well, I mean, every
That was a good draft. And I was the one that picked Nongshim, right? I was the only one, along with Captain Jack
So-
and Go-Go.
I mean, everyone has a bad day.
Maybe we go over like the biggest. So the biggest difference.
He's so sheepish right now.
the biggest differences
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
where we rank DK in between like 2nd and 4th, which in of
Yes.
itself is still kind of insane. So I feel like that warrants conversation. And then, do we talk about KT?
Can
Do
I
we
go?
have to?
The saving grace for KT is that they could sub their entire Challengers team in, and they would perform better than what they're doing right now. Because right now, KT is hoping to be a top 8 team, but we're not sure. They're hoping for top 8. But we're not sure about that.
So, because for me, KT, I want to believe that obviously the loss to Kwangdong is the one where you're like, ooh. But losing to DK, that was a close series that came down to like an elder flip, and that was very close, right? And then losing to all the other teams that they've lost against, I think is not a surprise at all, right?
No,
It's a very hard
it's the
transition.
way.
That's my point. Like, and I think Wolf is right when he's like, with how rough they look right now, do they bounce back when they play against DRX or BNK? Like, is that happening?
And I think if you take momentum into account, there's like a real chance that they could lose to these teams like in a
Yeah.
crushing defeat.
And then it's done.
Then it's Nongshim 2022.
You're telling me the unbreakable spirit is going to have trouble, with more setbacks
He looked
against
pretty
teams?
broken today. Yeah, definitely.
I think
He did not live up to the quote.
I think DRX clear KT in every role right now. Performance-wise. Every role.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I watched.
I'd say
Yeah,
jungle.
okay. And you
So
gonna
does
say
jungle.
top. I watched Frog play Renekton and I watched Perfect play Renekton.
Yeah,
and I know
yeah.
who the better player is.
I think it's
okay?
jungle.
No, actually, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you look at just today's performance of Perfect, because Perfect was the best player on the team last week.
Agreed.
But yeah, today was. I don't know. They were trying to win when it wasn't the time to try to win. They're like, flash into 5 people. It's Renekton.
Oh.
I get super sick value of my
I
Q.
missed
I'm like,
that
no,
part.
it's.
I missed the trying to win part, and I felt like I was there the whole time. I don't
No,
know.
They were trying to
I'm
win at the wrong
actually-
moments, and it was weird.
I'm actually with you. So I have DRX in 8th, which I felt bad about until they lost to Nongshim. I'm like, okay, they're still kind of the same team.
Yeah, that brought me down to earth as well, because like so much of my predictions here actually hinged on what was going to happen this week. Because what I was going to do, I was going to have this banger moment where I like
DK
walk
beats.
in and there's like trumpets playing on both sides, like brr, 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 Atlas, the king of predicting stuff. And that was my headcanon for what this episode was going to be. It's why I've seemed like really disappointed like throughout. And yeah, that really didn't happen. So it hinged off
So now
T1
kazoos are
DK.
playing.
T1 DK, yeah, it's like. So it was T1 DK where I thought that, and at the first 20 minutes of that game, I was like, oh yeah, this is so good. Can't wait to rub it in everyone's. I want to go home. It's time. Yeah. Turn off.
When the
My man
wind
forgot
it
about
back.
aiming.
Yeah. Wind it back. Yeah, it wasn't great.
and then that you saw that. I think we all saw that second game draft. We were like, oh my god, oh, it's an early day.
Yep, it's
And-
I want to go home and think about what happened, and we can approach this tomorrow. That's what it sort of looked like.
Wolf, because I want to, because I think that DK's position is kind of the most interesting to me. Because do you because I don't know if I wasn't 100% sure if you were joking, because I'm not saying that you should, but how do you feel about Hanwha versus DK now that we've seen week 2 as well? Because I still feel the same way.
I felt like especially it was KT, and KT is like
Obviously,
really low,
yeah.
but
Yep.
I feel like it's a really good meta for Zeka. Like both his Tristana and Yone are really good, and like this Corki suits him more than the old normal like AP Corki with package and all that stuff that he was. Decision making was a little hit or miss.
Yep.
He played it a lot. He felt comfortable locking it in, but we did
You
not.
said
feel
hit or
comfortable.
miss. I seem to remember only one of those.
Mr. Miss.
Yeah, miss or
Thanks,
miss.
Stiga.
Very esoteric, not heard of very often.
But I do think that this is a meta to where if Doran can just like stop being weird, you know what I mean? Like it's some of the decisions he's making. You're like, no,
That's classic
I don't
Doran.
think so. But like in the classic Doran in the past would be like he would try to win 1v1 randomly and lose, and then just go back to he's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit under turret the rest of the game and I'll be useful in team fights. This time he's kind of trying to win the weird 1v1s or making a mistake and then also messing up the team fights and like missing impales. He's the part I'm worried about. Viper picking Vayne was like probably
It's
a
a-
meme.
it's
I don't
a
know.
troll,
Like it was
yeah.
it wasn't actually real, so that's fine. Like Delight seems to be bouncing back a little bit too. So I'm feeling pretty
sure,
good about this pick. For D+, like Lucid is really good. Like last time he was really good, like 3 out of 10 times. Now it seems like he's like 8 to 9 out of 10 times going to be really good. Is the consistency level? A little bit worried about Keenan. A little bit worried about Showmaker sometimes. Very not worried about aiming in the lane, but outside the lane, getting a little bit concerned. So I give Hanwha the edge. I think long term in the season, I feel like they'll find more wins that D Plus might toss away, like they did
that's fair.
against T1.
I think my only counterpoint, I feel like Peanut, if he doesn't get Sejuani, Maokai, or Vi, that was one of my big reasons. Because I feel like if you ban Sej and Maokai and then you pick Vi, I feel like him on carry junglers, I don't.
But then,
Yeah.
but then Zeka gets Tristana, and it's fine.
My reasoning for Hanwha third, like, and DK over them was the fact that I'd just seen the Peanut Nidalee game,
Yep.
and that was pretty burnt into my
Also,
retinas.
remember the first game 1 of the D Plus Hanwha series, which was like 21 kills to 1 or whatever? It seemed like D Plus was the better team at that moment, for sure.
But I think, like, if you dig into it a little bit more, I think we heard from Hanwha the fact that they were saying that there were a lot of other teams that started scrimming a lot earlier than they did, that they were taking a little bit of extra time for R&R to make sure that their players were well rested moving into the season. I think if I had have factored that in a little bit more, then maybe it would have made sense to put them a bit further up. But I guess third is probably still just fine. I think it was still kind of there in the back of my mind. But I'm a bit more sure that they're going to just be okay and make it to playoffs pretty comfortably. It's just where I put T1 that I'm now feeling really dumb about because they really turned it around this week.
Yeah, against the Kwangdong Freaks, who feel legit, even in their loss. They still feel legit.
It's a 2-1.
Yeah.
Still big moment.
It is fascinating to see how like one player can kind of change a roster. Going back to just real quick on the Lucid and Peanut point, right? You can see how much having a jungler to facilitate everyone else can make a team better. And I'm going to use Bros as the example. Young Jay has come on in, and when they've found success, it's when he's popping off. And with Kwangdong, they had Cuz. They knew they had a stud there, but then it was just like rotating whoever they had. Now that they've stabilized the bot lane, you could see how that team functions. And so I think with D Plus and Lucid, finding stability there and letting him grow and having those veteran pieces around him, like this is what a GM always dreams of. It's like, okay, cool, we've got guys that are going to be stable and have, you know, playmaking, showmaking potential. And we'll let our young guy with great talent just know that he's the guy, and we can go from there. And that's why I think I had D Plus so high, and you know, yeah, that's why I had it there.
Same.
Lucian,
It's exactly what I thought as
Lucian
well, so
mid,
I have same spot.
Showmaker. I mean, that could be a thing. Not really.
If it doesn't look good when Chovy plays it into Karis, I just don't. It's just not good. We want it to be good, but it's not.
Karis was a pretty good Lucian player, actually. Probably
Yeah.
knows that matchup pretty well.
Yeah.
That was one of the champions we were allowing him to play.
I really hope
Give
we
it a
don't
zero.
get Kaisa mid in the LCK because that's been popping up. I think it's not good.
Yeah, over at LEC it was
they
Kaisa
tried.
Ezreal.
Yeah,
Oof.
they tried to, but like this is the thing, and this is I was actually going to raise this point earlier on when we had the meta discussion, and maybe we can have like a brief discussion now because I think that this is something that Kadril was saying quite a lot. It's just pick 2 hyper carries, fill the rest of the team with tanks, and then that's your team comp. Like that's Nirvana. I don't think that has necessarily fully come to Korea just yet because I think that we're like 2 tanks, AP jungler, and then 2 hyper carries is what we're kind of thinking is the best way to play it. And I also think that it's way more interesting. So I'm hoping that that's what continues to happen. I think the way that the center comps look is disgusting with that in mind because you have 2 really beefy boys. And then if you have Pays on center, he just tends to top damage anyway. Did anyone do the math on like how the expletive he managed to do that?
So I imagine that one of the things that Chovy was the best. Remember Chovy's Ari build? Where he built non-damage items, but he was always topping damage.
Yeah.
Because the safety of the defensive items allowed him to just play like an absolute insane person.
Maniac, yeah.
I think that was what Pace was doing today. Because like
That's
Edge of Night,
actually what he was
legitimately,
doing.
yeah. Because Senna obviously or base damage are okay, and like the early lethality is nice, but I think it's just the fact that you have spell shield. Plus,
But how many great 80 carries have we watched play center and do 0 damage?
Well, it's
About 9.
It's yeah. It's also
A lot.
it's also and I really rate Pace. I think right now he's having an insane season. I think he was also insane at MSI after a really lackluster spring. I think we collectively, justifiably so, gave the Gen G bot lane a decent amount of criticism. But I think right now he's playing out of his mind. But he also gets to walk up no matter... Like, I think the problem with Gen G is that they are rapidly approaching the point that we've seen of T1 in the double AD carry bot lane meta, right? Of DK... I think 2020 spring T1 was different because of the COVID situation, so I feel like that I don't hold to the same level as what they did last year. I think last year was actually way more impressive, even though the record wasn't as good.
Yeah, numbers not necessarily the same, but I think the dominance...
The dominance, I think, was much more... Because it was in a... against a level playing field at any given point in time, right? Yeah. And they completely warped the game around. This is like 2020 summer dumb on levels, what Gen G is approaching right now. So I honestly don't think it matters what they... I think everyone on that team is just going to look insane for the remainder of the split.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, like, in that game today, they were winning, like, in all three lanes, like, at the same time, basically, where, like, Senna gets the whole turret.
With a scaling draft.
And then... Yeah. And then Envy comes back to mid lane to die, to lose mid turret, to then like Youngji is like, hold on, I think I got the Herald, and they're like, you guys didn't get anything anywhere. They did get the Herald, but then lost the top turret also in 2 people. So
they did gain the record for the fastest game this split. So
there were a lot of teams that did.
But they lost it. They lost it though, because
they lost it
by 3 seconds.
How bro?
Do we have confirmation that today or Sunday, for you guys watching at home, was the shortest LCK day of all time? Because it might have been. We had a lot of records broken.
Yeah, it was double. It was double 24, like 23 minutes.
And the other games were not long. So
no, it's because the
right.
games were 24 minutes.
There were 3 records today.
And
was it 3 records? Holy crap.
Because the KT game was
Both
also
bros,
record.
And then the first KT game was like 27. I think that one was like relatively longer. And then the last one was because I wasn't working today, right? So I was coming over for PogState. I'm like, whew, man, KT,
can you hold on for a couple? All right, never mind then.
I told Atlas before the KT series started, I was like, let's hope for like a sub 6,000 gold diff when KT loses today. I'm like, that's the most we can hope for. Couldn't even get that.
He really was trying to be kind. It wasn't enough.
Well, just to set you up, because of something you said off camera about how long this team has been together. Gen G has been together.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last time on PogState preseason about how Gen G is, like, not even close to their full potential. Like, this team is still so young in terms of this roster being together. And Canyon and Chovy are already at this level. Keen is at this level with the synergy there. And Pays and Lehens have leveled up significantly. Credit to Lehens' development of Pays.
That used to be a meme. It's actually starting to get a bit truer now.
No, it actually, we memed it a lot, justifiably so.
Some good shot calling. Okay.
I was just talking with Degon about how like this is not even Gen G's final form, and already I'm feeling like it might be the plus 36 season.
Yeah, it
you said we weren't going to talk about Gen G because everyone has them at the top, but like plus 36 is actually possible.
I feel the MSI win to me really mattered because one thing I would be worried about is this team collapsing under pressure because of, let's be honest, like Keen and Lehens, right, on KT, they were incredible last regular split and then completely boomed in playoffs and then also weren't able to make it happen in Worlds.
Yep.
Even though Lehens obviously already did get his title. Then the LCK title was good, but the way they won MSI as well, right? Canceling out a reverse sweep from top and then 3-1ing BLG twice in very convincing fashion in a high-pressure situation, I think is really, really big. I would argue that as far as meta goes, this actually is suboptimal for Gen G, because I think that right now, in this meta, there is no team in the world better than them. And like, it's not even remotely close. I don't think at all that Gen G are reliant on this meta, but I do think by the time we don't know what it'll be when Worlds rolls around, but it'll be...
If it's not this, it's probably worse for them.
And like, realistically, with how the ebb and flow of patches go, it won't be. Like, it won't be similar in any way. they're maybe Cassandra and Skarner, they're probably
I
still
mean,
be
you
there.
say it won't be similar in any way. I think we've had a lot of similarities over the last couple of years. So I guess maybe that means that there will be more drastic changes to try and get some sort of change, but I don't know.
I think the drastic change was the itemization, right? Like
Yeah.
25% crit on the bot side. We've talked about how you can play any AD carry. I think that is the big change. Whenever we go to Worlds, what they start tweaking it when probably about like week 6, week 7, they're like, okay, this is our pre-Worlds patch, and we're testing these things. So
They're gonna it's gonna like every single year at Worlds, the meta at Worlds has been substantially different from playoffs.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that matters for how good this team should be. I do think that this might be their final four meta-wise, but yeah, I do agree with you on the synergy and the, because Pays and Lands, I think, are the best example of what you're saying, Wolf.
Yeah, I do agree with what Degon's saying, though, in that I don't think that there's going to be like a round 2 fall off for this team because some, like they nerfed Tristana and like they mega buff like Syndra and Victor and Orianna to like make the mid lane AP again. Like Chovy be like, cool.
yeah. So we have to play through Chovy. Okay.
Now I can have different champions to have mid lane prio on.
Well, this is the crazy thing about it, because I think the only way that you nerf Gen G is to take Canyon away as being a weapon, because I think what everyone's finding really difficult to deal with, and more difficult to deal with now than previously, was the fact that like Gen G used to be 4 carries and Canyon helping out, and now they're 5 carries, and that's rough.
The thing about the biggest difference to me between spring and summer for Gen G, besides Lehen's, having a big glow up at MSI, is that Pays and Lehen's would sometimes like kind of lose lane a little bit, or they would be even at best. So Canyon had to play through mid or top most of the time, or he would just go invade the enemy jungle and start 1v1ing and messing with them. But now it's like basically Canyon is playing the same way Owner plays for T1's bottom lane all the time, and they're just like setting up dives consistently, like which. It's not like we never saw it, but it feels like here in the first 2 weeks of spring, it's happening a lot. And Canyon is like, oh yeah, I dive bottom now. That's the new thing that I do this season. So you're not safe in top lane, you're not safe in mid lane, you're not safe in bottom. Chovy has prio every game, even when he's the Corki into the Tristana, or he's the Corki into the Talia. Doesn't matter. It's like actually unreal that Gen G can make plays anywhere on the map. Like, you're not safe in your own jungle. You're not safe under your turret. Canyon's gonna find you. He's gonna get you.
Jesus.
Oh god, it's like that video, the Hydro
bear.
kids. No,
Yeah.
that one.
That's an old video.
He said he's gonna get you.
Whoa.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
classic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking
polar
about
bear,
the
the one the
polar
polar
bear.
bear says it. Yeah.
No, I'm just
in
talking
the
about
Coca-Cola
Canyon,
commercial.
Canyon the polar bear.
Ah.
It wasn't in relation to the video.
Oh, right, so
I
he's
said it at the
scary.
same time.
I was like, AI's gone too
What
far.
polar bear video?
It's like
yeah.
the version that they released in the Netherlands was actually
I was like, it's just like Baby Shark. I'm like, all right.
yeah, okay. Oh, I know that guy. All right. Yeah, no, I think that Gen G are going to be completely unstoppable, and in fact, that is the only thing that we all agree on, which I think is beautiful.
Because I want to mention T1 at least for a little bit. I think the meta really sucks for them. They can play Zeri now apparently, which is nice, and the regular split doesn't matter for them. I don't have him second just because I feel like that's where they'll probably end up. But maybe Faker gets swapped out again, because he's dealing with his injury. It doesn't. T1's placement doesn't matter.
If you swap T1 D plus, like, you could do okay if KT get their act together.
No, I'm sure T1 will end up. So I don't even.
Wait, you think that they'll be second in regular
Same with
season?
you. You
Yeah.
can swap them as well.
Yeah, I still think that. I mean,
I feel like this is
I
an
might be
interesting
able to.
strategy.
Might be swapping them out.
Do you get more points by swapping T1
But,
up or
T1
KT down?
So what is the only action? Like, T1 have obviously looked a little bit. Right?
Do you guys think Nongshim can make fifth? Just asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend. Like, I was just like, do you guys think that there's a world like,
bro?
do you think our boy Sylvie can just like avoid the brand bans and just get some carrying
Bro,
done?
if Chiwu can get it, if they just protect the president, Google Lulu only, and then,
Human Nexus.
Remember last split when KT got to, or last year when KT got to play like 13 games of Kaisa in a row? We did that, but
Yeah.
with Google Lulu. The Gugu, they can do it, man.
Oh, the Gulu! Oh, he's not only is he old, so he's kind of like a guru, and
Yeah.
like L and R are like the same
Yeah.
character in Korean. It's so perfect.
Just play that and just hope Jiwoo carries every single game.
Wait, we need to tell the LCK that. Guyon, Guru. Like, because Guga is like, he's the Lulu. He can play Lulu good, and he's like old.
And the L and the R bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you
it's like,
explain
and
it
he's
one
like
more
a
time?
guru. like on a Tibetan mountain and stuff. Oh man, we need to give that to the LCK team. We need to see someone Photoshop that, with the cool wise man beard and stuff.
Yeah, maybe if
On
someone another
Lulu
game
with his face.
it'll be on the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, they'll need to win, won't they?
So the LCK thumbnail people are actually the best in the bit. Did you see
Apart
the
from the Zyra Canyon, that was
No.
Yeah,
terrifying.
That was
Scary.
so funny.
No.
A scary polar bear handing you a rose. Amazing. No, I just with T1 like they had
No, the scary polar bear was. Do you see his face?
Yeah, he
just
was-
on Zyra's. On
haven't
Zyra.
seen
thinking
this
of a
yet,
different
That
actually.
was
one.
the most cursed thing I've
No,
seen.
that
in
one.
my
No, those
life.
are. No, I'm talking about one where it was an actual.
Yeah, no,
polar
that
bear.
one was amazing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
actual polar
I was
bear, and he
making
was
sure.
like throwing the plants
Is
around.
this from
That one.
today's game?
No, it was from the
last week.
last week.
Yeah,
Like,
last
we
week.
played Zyra last week or our first series. I'm not sure, but I remember the LCK account posting it.
As a first-time swapper, is it literally a one?
You just do a
team
one-to-one.
swap?
You can swap one team with another team. That's,
That's it.
So you can't. I couldn't be like, hey, I'm actually gonna take Nongshim and slot them 5th. It's I have to
Yeah,
trade them.
So
with
I-
Kwangdong.
I wanted to do that last season as
we put
well.
KT first.
Yeah, he wanted 9 swaps.
Yeah, I wanted 9 swaps.
That's 9 swaps. And then also, is it points if you get it right? So if they are second, you get like 10 points. Like how does
It's not weighted. It's just however many you get.
how many you get
Is
right?
it really
Yeah.
just?
Oh my gosh, that's so punishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I slipped into third last season. Wolf, I think, just got completely screwed
I
by
got
the
owned by the
bottom
bottom
half of
teams,
the
yeah.
the standings, and like it was one off or
Kwangdong
something
got
like
me
that.
again.
Yeah.
Remember when I put Kwangdong 4th that one time?
Wait, wait. Oh
That was
yeah.
last split. Yeah, I remember. I
Hey,
think,
you learned. They're fifth now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at this. I hope there's at least one thing that just catches us all off guard. Genji will be first. That part.
The bro uprising. It's gonna catch you all off guard.
No.
The bro uprising, man. Yeah, to 9th. They are going to skyrocket to 9th place, boys.
Max.
It's happening. My lord is bringing me a victory over Dundun, okay?
I think it's
happening.
I think
Or
it's
Mihail.
Kwangdong either way, higher or lower. Like I
Higher?
don't, higher
Yeah,
or
no, that
lower.
Kwangdong over Hanwha?
I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is,
I think it's Kwangdong higher or lower.
we already
than
explained
Mazal.
to Digon that that's not going to happen and why, and he still keeps like acting like Kwangdong could be like top 3 team.
No,
or
I want
something.
to. No,
Wait.
no.
Four.
Oh no, but I
Right.
agree with him though. I think like swapping Kwangdong bot like lower, like that sounds like it could be
No,
a
he's
useful
talking about
swap.
Kwangdong higher.
Well, no, he's saying
Or
it could,
lower.
it could
Or like
because we
it's
have them
gonna
in
mess
the
up
middle,
rest
and
of the-
definitely they could either go up or go down. Like I do agree with what we've seen so far. If we pretend the CV Max principle isn't real, like absolutely, like I could think about moving up. Well, that's why none of us talked about it because it's weird. Because you're like, well, I think mysteriously they will lose again. But like you can't explain it, but you're like, we know it's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
so we just have to like kind of hold it in and not talk about it. But Digon's like, let's talk about the thing because I'm new, and we're like, oh, okay.
If a coincidence happens
is good.
every season, is it a coincidence?
Because this forces us to really talk about everything and not just go, we all know.
yeah,
It's
That's
true.
good on you,
That's
Dion.
true. That
Yeah.
Have any other questions of like stuff that we're doing that doesn't make any sense to you?
I think he was pretty in line. Like I honestly think like this is a pretty good list. Says,
Is it-
oh god,
We
Okay.
just showed the canyon. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's cursed.
it is so
I'm
cursed.
talking about the cute polar bear, not
Yeah.
about the Zyra.
Well, I thought that was the cute polar bear
That's
right
not
there.
the cute polar. It's the same misunderstanding.
That's Poison Ivy from Batman.
Misunderstanding.
Polar bear.
Wait, it's the same
Zyra is actually wait.
Because earlier we were talking about Max, hide your wife, and then I said no, the polar bear, and then you guys, I just meant the same image of the same polar bear. How is this a
that.
misunderstanding?
Someone
Clyde?
when someone
Please
says
clip
wife, when someone says wife, this is the image in Chronicler's head. Married, by the way.
All right.
It's cool, man. It's fine. I'm sorry. We can edit this out.
No, clip that. Clip that. We're talking about your wife. I was
Are
talking
you,
about
are
the
you a
polar
Batman
bear.
fan? Or are you just an Amber Heard fan?
No.
This is the wife he hides.
Was she poison? No, she wasn't.
No. I don't-
she
I
just
don't
looked
remember.
like
Guys,
she
Uma
looked like
Thurman. Uma
no,
Thurman.
yeah, sorry, she
I'm
looked
Joe-
like
it's-
Poison Ivy when she was in that mermaid one.
I'm just
Aquaman.
specifically, I just like the Kenyan polar bear memes. There was one where he was holding up a rose and it was cute. That's what I've been talking about
Yeah.
the whole time.
And then he mentioned hide your wife in it for some reason, and it was very strange. Not in my clip that I'm going to have after this airs. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful time. What a fantastic episode. I feel like it was a roller coaster of emotions. Really, truly a KT episode of the PogState. After we did unanimously bring them a little bit down in
Do better,
these
KT, or just play your challengers team.
Yep, I think either of those things would
Well,
be a
you've
good thing.
become me, man. Look at that. Doesn't believe in KT. Calls up for a challengers
But, like,
team.
Yeah.
Usually people call for a player. I'm calling for the whole squad this time. All 5 of them. Not even one player stays. I don't care.
Perfect.
Depth is
Actually,
famous. Yeah,
perfect.
whatever. I
Perfect.
want hype.
To be honest, hype's really good. But Wolf, you only have extreme opinions about KT.
Yeah.
You are never like, this team is mid. You're never like, oh yeah, but they're KT. Ever. You either hate them or you love them. And I think it's
Mostly
fantastic.
loving, but not right now. It's
I think it's me. You know, he loves
CB
them,
Wolf.
which is why it hurts. Which is I felt that way about Liv Sandbox / BNK Ferex for 2 years, and then Croco left, and now he's doing great in the LPL, so it's all fine. And then Kyle is gone, and now the team just because I don't think we talk about BNK at all, and I think that says a lot. I don't think we have to.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
talked
to.
about it last time.
Look,
and I
there
said
it
was
is, there it
hopeless,
is.
And it's lived up to
Yeah.
it so far. Yeah.
There's the Hadouken flower.
That's the one I was.
That's
look how
beautiful.
cute.
That's fantastic. It's lovely.
Put it on the screen.
yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Thanks, Kaya. Appreciate you.
Kyan's the best.
All right. I think that's going to do it. This was a lot of fun. And it's great to have you, Digon. I just want to say that, I know we do some teasing. It's because we love you. And we're so happy that you're finally here. I'm glad it didn't take an extra
not
season
short-lived,
for
yeah.
you to get a visa.
Don't do that, man.
Don't do that, man.
I don't know. I just felt like it was getting too wholesome.
Everyone got to see what it was like.
Everyone just got to see what it was
normally
like.
how long it takes for Max
I
to get
know!
earnestly wholesome.
I was holding it.
He never does that. What's wrong with Wolf?
I was like, finally, it's happening.
And we
Approval.
got Angry Chronicler. What a wonderful day it was here at the PogState. Thank you
even
so
if you-
much for watching. And we'll see you next. What, Wolf? What is it?
Wait,
Go.
are we
No,
doing
no, no,
swaps?
no, no.
Or we're saving that
No,
for later?
No, that's
No, swap you do at the
middle
end.
of the
That's what you
season.
do at the end.
Middle of the season. Middle of the
Nice.
season. Yeah.
You get some time to sit in
He
your
wants
own
to swap them
mistakes.
right now.
Taking my microphone away.
Things aren't going so well. Wait, you were going to say something though, Wolf?
I took it away. It's fine.
He took it away.
He said the thing, but he
I was
didn't
gonna
have the
say
mic.
even if Digon gets fired, we can go out on Home Day together. We'll still be friends.
Nice.
I gave you your window. Okay, it's
That's why I said I was taking it away from myself.
I'll see you in Hongdae, y'all.
But then you still did it.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for more PogState. Or will you? No, you will. You'll see us. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in a. Goodbye.